Can you hear me now? Excellent. Okay, looks like we have some mic audio. We actually have the game fitting the window. I'm just going to try and put this back into windowed so I can actually see everything that is going on. Yeah, see, it's just going to do that. Can I do this? The overlay in the top left. Let's... Okay, yeah, so that's disabled. The joys of figuring this stuff out live and in living color. Well, if that is all of my problems, hopefully it is, welcome everybody to Shuffles and Scuffles. My name is Rikki. I'm a part of the art team at Sour Circuit Studios, and this is the game that we have been working on for the past year and change, and just released very recently in the past week or so on Steam. You can check us out there, but, you know, before then, you can have a look at it here and see if it sparks your interest. Alright, so jumping in. I don't really have a plan for this particular stream going into it, so I think I might just go with a Jester run, because that is the most recent class that I unlocked. Logically, it's the last one that most people are going to get, because to get him, you have to have beaten the highest difficulty with any other class. So, yeah, random deck, random stats. I did manage to beat the very first difficulty with him, but let's try pumping it up a little bit and see what we end up getting for our randomly rolled statistics. Okay, so the first thing I want to check... Oh, okay, so we ended up with a absolute ton of health, and fairly normal everything else, except I guess for a hand size of 3. That's not ideal, but we can make it work. And then what do we end up with for cards? Okay, fairly decent balance of stuff here. But let's just jump right into stabbing things. Oh, I've got a hand size of 3 and I discard 2 a turn. That could be interesting. 4 freeze into a card. So I don't really know. I haven't had any of these cards before, so does this just... Okay. Oh, yeah, and then there's the snowflake on there. So freezing a card makes it so that you can't, or that it won't automatically discard. That's interesting. And will that last just for the amount of times that it's frozen? Very cool. Well, I better play it anyway, because there's a gonglin right in my face, trying to stab me. Do not want. Oh, dealing with this Leshy is gonna be a pain. Because I need to deal 6 damage to him right off the bat. Let's keep Chop around. At the very least, get him out of our grill. And then we'll just pay this down until next turn. Oh, and then my then my stab is gone. Okay. I see what I need to start doing here. 3. Oh, I can't quite hit them both with the way that fireball is laid out. But I'll hit the one that's closest to me. And chop. Oof. Yeah, this, is this gonna help me any? No, it is not. This is not gonna help me any. Good thing I have a lot of health, because... And that's just gonna sideswipe. Well, I can get him over to the side, but... I feel like this deck is gonna need some major overhauling if we're gonna have any success at all. Get out of my face, please. Oof, yeah. Not a fan of what we've started out here with. Okay, so got Bandit, Hivehead. Oh, I don't want to hit Hivehead and have a bunch of bees right away. Oh, and then I did it anyway. I'm a fool. I guess we kill the bee, but do it in a way that won't spawn another bee. Yeah, just angle that ever so perfectly. Okay, 2 and 2. We can get rid of Bandit. We can almost get rid of Hivehead, but not quite. Oof. Okay, you go away, and then I just have bees to deal with. And I can't kill these bees fast enough. Good lord. This is not a good deck. But it will be if I... Well, I should be able to survive this combat because it's just Mothman now. Two, draw two, body check. Well, let's get some damage going here. We'll drop that much on Mothman, body check him back to the second row, and that bought us just enough time to kill him. Okay, this sucks, but that is the challenge of the Jester, the random nature of him. So let's see what we can do to help mitigate some of this a little bit. Hello, we've got Monaco in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Apologies for the delayed start. Had a few minor technical gremlins, but we seem to be firing on all cylinders. Hero, you still need to unlock Jester. Yeah, it's a little time consuming, but when you compare it to some of our other classes, as far as unlocking them, but you know, worth it? That's up for you to decide. If you love an additional several elements of randomness, I think it absolutely is. And yes, Monica, we are hoping to implement, or at least have looked at and are strongly considering a lot of the feedback that you have left. So that has been super helpful to us. Let's dump some of these cards out of here. I have never really thought Saw was worth keeping around. Now, do I just keep trying to dump at the carnival, or Or what? Sure. Because at least then we don't have the cycling kicking our butts here. Feel like I would just rather have a small... Yeah, I turfed those two because I would just rather have a very small, efficient deck than trying to cycle through them all to get exactly what I want. Probably didn't need to use that body check, but that's fine. Gonna use this for now just to get Leshy over to the ledge. Ah, and then body check comes around again. Cool. Can I... and I can... slay thee. Which is good. Yeah, Jester is definitely a mixed bag. My first run with them, I think I also had just a hand size of 3 and a lot less health, but I had 8 mana. So you can imagine how instantaneously broken that became right out of the gate. This, not so much. This definitely needs a little bit more tweaking. I think I'll just pay down Chop and let Burn take care of those two. You go back. And you get chopped, and you go back again. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a stalling, burning thing going on here. I'm not too upset with it. Oh, I can't get rid of these bees fast enough. Once again, it's the exact same problem as last round. I need a healing card, is what I need. I really need something I can heal with, so let's see what the altar has. Knockback, grapple. These are not healing. Poison is the exact opposite of healing. Okay. I mean, I could just turn something into damaging the grid. I mean, my mana situation is already not great. Ah! Yes. Maybe I'll backfire, because that is something I really have not played around with. I don't have a ton of health, though, right now. Yeah, I think maybe if these oranges were better, or if there was healing or mana, I would consider backfiring. But I think maybe I'll just make, like, a ridiculous damage card. Or do I make this into... All that to say, I'm going to make this into knockback. Because I feel like this will help better than Sideswipe will. Sure. Healing card? No healing card. But I will take freezing to an enemy. Just to kind of keep... Backfire. Oh, see, this is why I need to read... This is why I need to read the chat faster. Backfire. 1. 10 poison on grids. Oof. That would be pretty nutty. At least currently, I feel like it would. Okay. At least now, with our knockback and our freezing, I've got a little bit of stall. So enemies can't just be whooping me. constantly. You stay. Get chopped. Oh dear. Guess we're getting hit again. Oh, yeah, didn't have enough for that. Oopsie. Okay, well, we'll get rid of you, buy that down. Okay. At least the back is starting to fill up a little bit with Mothmen. That'll be helpful for the moment. And Fireball can be free. Chop. Oh god, 2 leshies? Okay. Well, I can kill one of them right now. Oh, interesting. Does that? Oh, okay. I thought he would have healed up past 3, but I must be just looking at this wrong. No matter, he's getting chopped, and we're just gonna try and deal with these Mothmen as quick as we can. Because I am hurting health-wise. Real bad. Okay. Take them out one at a time. And chop. Knock back. And second chop. Okay. We are surviving, if not thriving here. 3 hand size and 2 discards is so silly, yeah. You know, if I had only 3 cards in my deck and they were better. Oh, thank you so much, Monaco. Yeah, like we've said, it's greatly appreciated that super informative and detailed feedback that you've been given in the Discord. And yeah, anything that we can do in our power to upgrade and just make the experience better for everybody is a win-win. Now, what do I... Maybe I make a chop. I'm gonna bury a chop. I mean, I could have done that to stab and just made it free, but... What do we have this time around? Okay, we've got Scatter. I love a good Scatter. We've got Healing. We can finally get ourselves away from Death's Door. But what do I replace that with? Maybe just freezing. Or Fireball, I don't know. I feel like right now Fireball is a little pricey. Can you see the options? Just for the altar? Here's what we're working with. My initial thought is just to do a scatter 2 healing to player, or scatter 1 healing to player for 0, and just try and boost my hit points back up every chance I get. You know, I've never worked with draw healing. Is that... Let's see what we can do with that. So is drawing healing, is that gonna, like, deal damage to the enemy? Oh, you do damage and heal. You've just answered my question. That's not bad. I mean, it would cost 2 from an enemy. I don't mind if it's my full mana stock. Circle. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of just being able to play it in one turn or as things are coming up. But, I mean, haven't really got anything to lose. So let's try this. I mean, it's the same cost as what Fireball was, so we haven't really lost or gained anything as far as the costliness of our deck, but that should cycle through rather quickly if we can keep stalling with freeze and whatnot. Okay, hey, and the pixie moves forward. We get the circle set up. Ooh, okay. That's nice. That is nice, except I've got to now slay this pixie before the gauntlet gets healed. Yeah, I'm coming around to that way of thinking. That was really good. Just okay, we're paying things down. Mothman's holding down the fort for us. And we'll get rid of Pixie, so there's no healing shenanigans going on. Ooh, do I... 3 and then 4. Okay, I can get rid of this Mothman. That's fine. And we get another decent chunk of healing there. Oh, we didn't... Okay. So because the Gonglin had pre-existing damage, we didn't draw 6, we only drew 5. Because 3 and then 2. Interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind for deciding who to attack with. But these guys are all full health, so we're gonna hit all of them for big heals. Freeze the Leshy. If I freeze someone in front row, they're not gonna hit me, are they? Okay, cool. Well, this is free, so we'll just get them out of the way. We'll boost up to full health, and now it's just Leshy to deal with. Freeze and get stabbed. I was about to make an awful joke there, but I will refrain. Hello, Moist Egg. We are currently playing a run as the Jester. So, completely randomized stats to start with. So you can see there, 30 hit points, 4 mana, hand size maximum of 3, and we're discarding 2 every time around. Launch options. 1 grid. Dealer scatters. I do love having launch or just anything that I can deal to a full grid or scatter to a grid. Scattering anything to a grid is just my best friend. Posh, I'm in the same boat for my feelings towards the username Moist Egg Sack. That just has all kinds of imagery that I'm not thrilled about. I need to be able to do more damage to this Leshy in one turn than I've currently been doing. While also I am just at this point using him for heals as well. Okay, this will work fine. Chop, freeze, die. No! I thought the freeze damage would take him to 0 before he would heal back up to 5. Okay, well, shows what I know, I guess. Way to make me look stupid on stream, Leshy. It's okay. I'm doing that myself. It's not your fault. Okay, this time I will freeze. No, wait. I may have mucked this up again. No, I'll just do this. Just hit him with everything. It'll be fine. It's fine. We're all good here. How are you? Yeah, this deck is... It is something. Let's alter something, though. Oh, we got backfire again. This is certainly one of the decks of all time. Let's see what we can do with what we've got here. This seems nuts. You mean I can freeze the entire grid? Ooh. Yeah. I'm gonna do that for... Add more freeze, okay. See, I like 1, just because... I don't know, I'm weird like that, where I'm like, if I get it for cheap enough that I can just play it immediately upon drawing it, then I'm happy, but... More freeze. Oh, Oh, I see. Backfire 1 stays. We were just talking about this in the meeting, and my brain is mush right now, so... That's... Yeah. Okay. I might just do 1 freezing to 7 grids, because it's only going to cost me 1 turn upon drawing it to pop. Yeah, that is wild. Well, it's still exploded. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that is nuts. I don't know, we might just use that for everything now. Or do we alter something else? Well, let's see what else is here. Surge, deal, draw. Row player, circle. Surge launch. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that idea. If we have backfire freezing to grids, we don't need knockback to the grid as well currently. So I am up for surging launch to grid for sure. And I'm okay with making it a little more expensive, because if we're taking damage and it gets boosted from there, it may actually hit a total that will be able to launch a lot of enemies at close to full health. What did we get? The Catapult Flood. Yeah. Amazing. And then our damaging and healing card. This is looking pretty good. Just gonna pay that down for right now. Yeah, the fact that I can just play this every turn that I get it is... Santa! Just like 7 sleigh bell sound effects in a row. Oh, that's... Oh dear. That's not gonna get annoying fast. Yeah, and then they're just gonna stay there. Oof. Okay, well, it's very magical. We're in a Christmas special now. Oh, if it... Is that sound effect triggering for every instance of the enemy? Because I feel like this is going to drive us all absolutely insane. Because if I'm doing that every time more enemies hit the field... Yeah, that's going to be nuts. Well, let's just launch them for now. I see. And this is super informative, because I am a lot more basic with my strategies, and... like, scatter to grid is my beloved, and everything else has kind of taken a back seat for me. But, yeah, just seeing the, frankly, disgusting, in a good way, potential of Backfire 1. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... It plays one sound effect for every instance of it per character. Oh dear. Maybe we will take Pasha's advice here and see if we can't speed that up. Extreme. All we have to do now is just pay down Catapult Flood, because by the time we have enough mana to do that, the freeze has dealt enough damage to everybody. That is gross. Or I can just launch whenever, if everybody's health is 7 or less. I don't know if I want to... Well, yeah, I feel like freezing Hivehead is gonna just generate more bees than I want to deal with. So we'll just skip the messy part and get right into launching, folks. And we've got a cheap chop that we can do something with. Maybe. Or do we just... do we make stab cost nothing now? kind of want to make... I don't know. I want to make my healing card cost less, I think. Cheaper chop, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was either discounting the launch or the healing for sure. I just figured with, you know, this doing its thing. And I don't know how much the turn speed affected that. That it's still costing 7 would be fine. I triggered that, knowing that the bandit was coming in, and I still did it anyway. It has been a day. Hello, Ogre. You can just stay right there, if you please. While I wait until you're weak enough to get launched. Or I'll just stab you. There's something about hearing that sound effect that just tickles me. A little bit of inside baseball for everybody here, some behind the scenes. I'm the voice of Ogre and all the other enemies, in fact, except for, like, Gonglin. That one sound effect that used to be for every enemy, that was not me. The new ones that have been added in more recently, so like the beefier ones, the pixie, the cow, it's all me. And yes, even pixie. You know, as we wait for this to play the sound effect 21 times. Gonglin was a free sound for video. Yeah, I figured as much. I don't know how I would have tried to replicate the Gonglin sound and not absolutely wrecked my throat. But I'm sure we could have found a way. But yeah, everything else, you know, that's all me. Pixie, we pitched up, because before then it was like... stuff like that. Please practice your best Gonglin death noise on stream. Oh, I don't even know how I'd need to hear it again and try to... Which is weird, because I've heard it a billion times, but, like, to actually try and emulate it, I would need to, like, stop and listen. Backfiring 1 zap to 7 grid. Oof. That would be pretty nuts. Because, yeah, zap, you want it on more things than you want a high zap value, at least right now. Like, I thought the Gonglin was from Hero for Amusia. Oh! I was not aware. But that's something I feel like some of the other devs would know a lot more about. I was just one day like, I think some of these enemies should have more sound effects, so they don't all sound like a Gonglin. And I think the funniest one was for the Minotaur. I recorded like 20 of them, but I had ones where it sounded more like the Ogre, I had ones that we ended up going with that sounded a lot more like real, quote-unquote, as real of a cow noise as a person can make. And I also had ones that sounded just like very depressed. It was a very like moo, moo. I don't know. But played around with those a bunch. Oh, we've got scatter, launch, surge. I mean, the freeze is already so powerful, and it's holding things in place, that I might just cheapen launch via scatter? Peter didn't let us use the sad cow noises. Deal damage on grid? Do I have... What do I have? Launch, scan, drama. I don't have a grid I can throw in. Oh, I guess... Yeah, I can change this to doing damage instead. Burning on grid, yeah. I think I want this to be... Yeah, 10 seems about where I want it to be at. Low burn on 10 grid. 12 to 10 grids. Here's the thing about dealing low damage to a lot of enemies. I know there are enemies out there that I would rather hit like a truck once or twice rather than hit them a bunch of times just for the retaliatory damage that they do. At least that's been my findings with it. So I think, that being said, I'm gonna go 7 to 2? I'm gonna scatter 10 burning to 7 grids. That's what I'm gonna do. Because freeze is so broken right now that I'll have all the time in the world to build for this. Okay, yeah. It's all right. We will get there. We will have the time to get there. Now we just wait for all this freezing to apply 28 times. It's like the worst remix ever. And meanwhile, we'll just start chopping away. And there's a gonglet in there that isn't frozen, so we may as well just proc that again. Boss music freezing remix, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it needs a nerf, because the trade-off is the time of your life that you spend waiting for all of those instances of it to trigger. Oh, that's interesting. Cool. Okay. This is fine. Yes. This is still going according to plan. Because we're gonna let this happen again. Christmas album, gonna do numbers. Yes! Move over Mariah Carey. We've got the next big retail center hit on our hands. I may as well just turf that hand while we wait. Because... okay, it keeps giving me everything but the card I want to get right now. Are you frozen right now? You're frozen right now. Make that cost nothing. Okay. Now, this should do everything we need. Ta-da! I like how we've gotten onto the topic of how we are specifically going to pitch up the freeze sound effects specifically for the Christmas remix of the boss fight music. We could do something like the mana loop. That would be ideal so it doesn't get absolutely ear-shattering. What did I even bury here? My healing card, that's right. I don't think I'm... no, I'm not in desperate need of that. What do we have now? Okay, I think we're gonna play a little fast and loose here. Uh-oh. Too fast and loose? No, just fast and loose enough. I'll get healing, that's fine. So, we should just be able to freeze everything ad nauseum and continue to just pay down toward burst, which will never leave our hand now, and then when more enemies show up, we can just burn them all. Hooray! Because as everyone knows, there is no problem in life that you cannot solve by setting something or someone on fire. I don't know why I opted to freeze again. That was just me misclicking, and now we have to sit for 21 more instances of the sound. We are going to drive everybody away from this stream, aren't we? Okay, that seems to be working lovely. A mass backfire ones up. Yeah, that'd be pretty nuts. If I go to the altar and Zap is here, maybe we'll try it. No dice. Draw 3. At this point, I don't know if I need to draw that much healing. What I may do instead... Oh, I don't have player here. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I had an idea, and then it just slipped my mind. No, that wouldn't draw anymore. I'm just playing around at this point. Sure. Just to make that a little cheaper. Love if you could surge template. Oh god! That would be so many sleigh bells. I'm sure everyone is already going insane. What I would like to do is convert this to something with mana instead of healing. Because if I could get this to just trigger faster, I'd be so happy. Use the alter data 1. Display, give it up. Yes. I have also tried that. It's handy. The altar can absolutely be a much more effective, controlled way of card destruction. I came here. I don't know. I think I was looking for a mana card. I do love that little extra card wiggle now that is in there. But we'll take Radiance, because why not? Except now that's going to kind of throw off the balance of this whole thing. Just like hearing 14 to 28 sleigh bells every time I play that card is throwing off the balance of my brain. Take some healing from Skeeto, because that's what he does to people. We'll see how he likes it. Freeze everybody else who just joined the party. This is too much. Okay, now I just gotta start buying this down. Very good. Isn't it wonderful? This random radiance I've got kicking around. Why not? It is fitting with all of the snowfall that we had today. Yes, we had our third or fourth false spring and another dump of the good old white stuff. Freeze everything. Beat if you have launch option. Yeah, can freeze if you have launch better too. The only ones that can kill is shield, yeah, so ghosts and... yeah, did that with backfire burning to circles. It was like a war with all... I can only imagine. I'm sure this sounds much, much more tranquil. Ghosts and the ghost boss, yeah. Yeah, that would be the only issue where launching would be not super ideal. Let's see what the altar has for us. Oh, there's Zap. We were just talking about how Zap might be fun to play with. No backfire. I mean, the only thing we could do is convert our freeze card to Zap, which, you know, it'd be a whole different sound effect we'd be forced to listen to ad nauseum. But this is a pretty broken strategy. Do it? Yeah, okay. I was debating doing it just for the fun. So I'm glad that we have some agreement. Why can I... oh. Guys, it's happening again. So this is something that was happening to me a long time ago when I was covering some streams where I would assemble a card and click on it and nothing happens. And for a while it was only happening to me. It's always when I'm on stream. I think I'm just haunted. But thankfully, unfortunately, we probably won't get this card because we won't get the same words, but this, at least now, doesn't soft lock the game entirely like it used to, because we are able to just backtrack to the main menu and resume our run. And it'll just pop us right back out at the altar to begin with. It'll change all of our card art, because that does not get retained. The effects stay the same, but the art is always randomized. We got Zap, though, and we got Backfire. So we could even keep... we could Backfire Zap to a bunch of circles and keep the Christmas card. Yeah, I was thinking of getting rid of Radiance this time. And now... we backfire one Zap to 8 circles. And see, that time it worked. It created. So I don't know why it is always me on stream. There's probably a ghost in my apartment or computer. But now we can backfire Zap to circles. And a bunch of them, too. I'm gonna go back just to see... thought maybe we could get like a higher number or something. Oh, did we get grids? We got grids. Well, then that is good thing that you spoke up, because we were lucky enough to get grids this time around. We are going to hit the griddy, as the kids say these days. Or maybe they don't, I don't know. I'm old. So we have Backfiring Freezing, we've got Scatter Burning, and now we've got Backfire Zap. We are just full-on Elemental Jester at this point. Just playing whatever... Can I end turn while this is happening, or will it break something? Oh, I can't. That's probably for the best. Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh dear. Oh. the anticipation of that was killing me. Just the constant build noise. Yeah, that was nuts. I dig it though. That sounded almost on brand, or on beat, I should say, not on brand. Eel also deals zap, yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to do something to, well, I know exactly what we could do, less, you know, numbers in it, but I went power mad, but now that we have this guy kicking around, with that just like uncomfortably long build-up time, we don't necessarily need this to be absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Oh. Game Crash versus Slimebot. Well, we'll, yeah. We'll see what happens when we get there, because we should only be a couple of combat rounds out. We will see what happens when we get to the slime boss. Maybe I too will crash the game. I mean, it would be so on point for me, who is the only one who has the card alter weirdness. It would just be so apropos for me to also get a crash triggered by backfiring so much zap or freezing or anything. I guess it would probably have to be zap, but yeah, doing all that backfire damage to the slime boss. Oh god, wait for it! Wow. We took 7 damage from the thorny bush, and that is why I usually do like scatter high damage to few grids, is specifically because of that guy. But we can heal. That's fine. We have the technology. I mean, yeah, we'll just... Oh, didn't mean to do that. We'll just do that now, in fact. Recoup some of those losses. Let's see what we have on those. There's nothing on this computer that I would be concerned about. But I'm also playing in windowed mode, so I don't think that would happen. I think it would just go to like a black screen or something. like we were seeing previously. Yeah, let's see about making the Torrid Burst cheaper. Although, I do see mana there in orange. Maybe we scatter mana to ourselves instead. Launch, yeah. There is no launch, unfortunately. Oh, hey, we got this set up so that... Or I don't know if that's... I don't know if the version I'm playing has it so that it actually deals to that amount of players, or if that's... Launch upgrade... Where... I don't have, though. I only have... Oh, I don't know why I clicked that, but it's okay, because nothing can hit me at this point. Just as long as I'm willing to sit and listen to so many freezing sounds. See how that's gonna... Let's just try this out to see. Oh, just 10. Okay, so I think I am not playing the build that has had that adjusted at this point. But still, 10 mana means we can backfire as much zap as we want to, whenever we want to. I think what I'm going to do now I am just kind of killing time waiting for more enemies, because Because if I have more enemies that appear... Sure, this will take longer, but it will take care of more of them faster. Did the audio cut out very briefly for anyone else there, or was that just on my end? I feel like for a split second, the music track may have cut out. It kind of did. Uh-oh, we're starting to see the cracks in the Backfire Zap. Maybe it'll be fine. Oh yeah, that is cutting the audio. Okay, we got 3 more of these. For timing's sake, and just in the case of Crash, I may call it after the slime boss regardless. Just because it is getting pretty late, and the day job does come early, but we will absolutely see what this is going to do to the slime boss. See, I'm tempted to just bury mana for right now, because it's nice to have, but it's not an absolute necessity. Healing knockback. We don't need to change anything, I would say. So we will just do a sneaky one of these. And... ah. Yeah, could have gotten a new fresh card and changed it to something insane, but I feel like we've got the market cornered on crazy cards at the moment. Yeah, all said and done, I do think I would still go with my usual strategy of scatter to grid, just because it moves much faster than this, but this has been a very interesting and informative kind of look at another way to play this, which is wonderful to always get that different perspective. And I'll just pay some of these down. There we go. I was hoping to have other enemies arrive. The very basic strategy of simply trying to break the game in its entirety. Well, we appreciate that too, because it helps us to learn things about our own game that we may not have known about, that are not inherently apparent. Yes, I'm very eager to see just how much stress we are going to put in the term stress testing when we get to the boss. What? Oh, he was like sliding towards me there. That was odd. Okay, one more regular combat, and then it is business time with the boss. I mean, more mana. I don't mind that. And then what can we do with it? Poison, zap. I think I'm just going to turn this into scattering mana to the player. Yeah, that's fine. Exactly. If we had a much larger deck, then that's exactly what we would be doing while everyone was frozen in place, slowly taking damage, is just pay down, you know, healing cards or, you know, massive nuke cards to get rid of everybody. I wonder how full we could get the grid. Like, if I just kept freezing everybody here, would these four eventually have no choice but to hop in? I mean, eventually some of these weaker enemies would die, and there'd be no choice but for them to do so, but yeah, food for thought. That is, Monica, that is something that we have floated the idea of. Freezing, just stopping enemies without dealing the excess damage. I can't get over that like audio pause that happens every time, because as it stands now, freeze is definitely just like better knockback. Oh, I didn't... This is the first time since starting this run that I have noticed that the little glowy orb for Zap moves along overhead and alternates from enemy to enemy. Grapple, The thought behind it was repositioning enemies for the purpose of getting them into the same row as an enemy that was already on the board, so that you could hit them with a row card or a circle card. Generally, that is one of the purposes. I have seen some people use grapple in connection with surge in order to get attacked, exactly, Posh, to get attacked sooner in order for their surge effects to trigger faster or when the player wants them to. It takes a bit of maneuvering, a bit of precision, but it is an interesting strategy. Where is my zap card? I mean, I guess we'll keep freezing. Yeah, it's one that we found to be niche, but people have found ways to make it do some interesting stuff, for sure. Alright. 2 more daytime nodes, and then we're ready to try and crash the game. But first, I guess I have to... Oh my goodness. These slimes. The time use the movement was to move Yep. That is something one can do, is the, oh, I should have... Well, no, they're still frozen. But yeah, the maneuvering of hands in order to kill enemies on the grid. Viable strategy as well. Now... Oh, it was the other mana card. I was like, what did I bury here? Different mana card. At this point, I don't think we necessarily need this mana card, so I'm gonna... Oh, I think I have gotten a... Let me just try something here. Yeah, I've gotten the altar issue again. That is so... And there's nothing visually to indicate why it does that. I am just cursed, it would seem. Just trying to rush through to get to this boss fight. What I was going to say is, I don't necessarily need the extra mana at this point. And I was just going to turf this card so that we can get our kind of 3. Or do I take this mana card now that it's cheaper? Sure. Okay, let's try and break the game. Alright, 1 zap to 8 grids. Ah. Well, that certainly did something there. Oof, we are getting just chomped on now. If I freeze, at least this'll... I may have mucked this up and won't be able to hit the zap before the head gets put back on. Oh, I just realized this is so many more enemies than we're used to freezing, which means even more sound effects. Okay. Okay. Here we go, everybody. Get your cameras out. Oh, it's just like so much electricity all over the grid. The suspense is the worst part. Oh my god, we did it! Holy... Oh... We did it, Monaco. We did it. You did not lead us astray. That that was amazing. I thought we may be in the clear because the boss died and we saw the animation happening, and then it was like, nah, absolutely not. Wow. Oh, that was special. I don't think there's anything we can do to top that tonight. Good. Yes. That was a special moment. I'm glad we had a decent crowd here to bear witness. Whew. That's hilarious. Well, thank you for the recommendations for what to what to play. That is that was very special. Whew. All right. Well, it is getting pretty late here, so I'm gonna say that is probably as good a place as there has been or ever will be to call it a night. Thank you to everybody who came and hung out, even though we had a bit of a later start than usual. Apologies again, but we had some important meetings stuff going on, and then just some technical difficulties. And yeah, Backfire 1 is too powerful. That is the moral of the story here today. it is too powerful and must be stopped. Or not. I mean, I think it's hilarious, but some people may not share my sense of humor. But yeah, that was totally cool and a very eye-opening way to see a different strategy than what I am used to playing when it's just me on my lonesome. So I'm gonna pop up the ogre chasing the gonglin and call it a night. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.